Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to do the final page in my Documented Faith Coloring Planner for the month of October. So here I'm just going to go ahead and show you the last few weeks I've been working on it. So I'm using this for my daily scripture writing. And I have got pictures on Instagram and prior videos on some of these spreads that you can go back and take a look at. So here's that final page. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I've already prepped this page with Liquitex Clear Gesso, 2 layers of that. You can see in prior videos my technique for doing that. And I did that because I'm going to be using some distress inks today. So I've gone ahead and laid down my craft sheet. So I'm going to be blending these inks. And today we're going to be using Wilted Violet, Twisted Citron, Carved Pumpkin, and Hickory Smoke. So I wanted to do a little nod to Halloween, but Halloween isn't my favorite, so I thought I'd kind of go with these fun colors, but I avoided doing, pumpkins and bats and spider webs and things like that. So this is where I'm writing my daily scriptures, so I didn't want anything too holiday-like, but I did want a little nod to it. So I'm going to go ahead and blend these in kind of a gradient on this page. Now, these 4 colors are not a good blend, and what that means is they don't completely dissolve and meld into each other. There is still a line that you can see between these 4 colors. They are not horrible. They do blend a little bit, but they're not as good as if you used, 4 different blues or a like yellow, pink, and red, something like that would blend really well together. This is not quite that type of blend, but I'll show you. I'm going to add some more distressing and things like that help kind of make everything meld together. So I'm going to go ahead and take this scrap piece of paper and lay it over what I've already blended, and that just keeps my fingerprints out of the ink I've already laid down. Now, I chose to use the Liquitex Clear Gesso today instead of a matte gel medium. And the Liquitex gesso is a toothier, grittier gesso, but I prefer that with these because it seems to grab a hold of the ink and hold on while still protecting the back side of the page. When I use the matte gel medium, these inks just really sit on top. It's a plasticky type surface almost, so they just sit on top. They move around way too easy. I can't build the color up. They always seem to kind of still stay a little bit wet. I don't know, I just like this clear gesso better. But I do go ahead and go back in with a second layer of these inks. Again, just really working that line between, the 2 different colors and trying to get them to blend together. And in the end, it all comes together and it looks totally fine. So it was not an issue. Gone ahead and done that for all those colors. Here I'm taking the Distress Sprayer and I'm going to go ahead and spray some droplets onto this background. I'm only clicking that trigger down halfway so you get those splotchy mist, and if you click it all the way down then you get a fine mist. So you can see I've gone ahead and just picked that up with a paper towel, and it just picks that color right up and just adds some more texture to the background. And that just helps with that blend a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and hit that with some heat before I head on to the next steps. Now those are distress inks, so they could be reactivated with water again even though it's been dried. So from here on out it's going to be mostly dry mediums that I use on this page. Here's a piece of scrapbook paper from my stash. I've gone ahead and cut it down to fit into that margin and then rounded the corners with my corner chomper. And I'm just taking some of that Hickory Smoke ink and I'm inking up the edges. Now, this paper is a really thin, cheap scrapbook paper, so you have to be really careful with those types of papers. They work fine once they're down in the page, but working with it, it's not much heavier than like regular copy paper. I'm just going to take some dry adhesive runner and put that on the back of this little piece here, and then that'll go into the margin of this page. And so again, this month I've chose to cover up that margin, but it does have kind of a fun little decorative scroll and some lines on the side, so you don't have to cover it. That's just what I've chosen to do. Here are the Illustrated Faith typed Hey Sugar Sugar alpha stickers, and I believe these are from their Genesis kit. I'm not sure if you can get these outside of the Genesis kit, but you can use any type of white alpha stickers for this technique I'm going to show you. So I'm taking the Wilted Violet Distress Ink and then that blending tool, and I'm just dabbing up and down onto those stickers. Now they're on my non-stick craft sheet, so that way I can pull them back up and it doesn't damage the adhesive, but I can work with just dabbing that color on there. So you could take any white alpha stickers and customize them to a color that fits with whatever you need them to work with. I'm going to go ahead and take this clear ruler from Tim Holtz, and I like this one because it has a grid and different measurement lines on it, so I can line it up with the edges of the page, and then I can add those stickers onto that little piece in the side, and I know that they're straight. So for some reason my adhesive wasn't sticking really well with these stickers. I don't know what happened. That's not typical of them. They actually have a pretty good adhesive on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those all down on there. Now I'm spelling out the word harmony. This has been the theme word for this month from Documented Faith. And so each of my spreads and layouts for this month have included this word. I'm just going to go ahead and burnish over that, and then I go ahead and take my heat tool and hit it with some heat also while pressing them down. I found with any type of items that have adhesive on them, if I add a little bit of heat, it seems to really activate the adhesive on the back, and so then they stick really well. So even like cheap washi tapes, things like that, the heat seems to help them stick a little better. So there is that, and then I'm going to go ahead and take that clear ruler again, and then I'm going to take my pen from Illustrated Faith, and I'm just going to sketch in a line underneath that word there. And I'm just trying to add some different black elements to help tie in the stamping that's already been done on this page. So when you buy this coloring planner from Documented Faith, all the pages are blank. There's no numbers or anything like that, so you could jump in and use this at any time during the month. Here I'm taking the Illustrated Faith Elements clear stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and use some StazOn ink and just stamp some of these textures randomly throughout the page. So that way it kind of matches the stamping that's already been done. So I had chose to go ahead and pre-stamp all the numbers and all the days of the week ahead of time for the month. I left future ones blank just in case I want to change up how I do it, but I went ahead and did it so that the first half of the week is on the left-hand side of my spreads, and then the second half of the week is on the right-hand side of my spreads. But you definitely could do it, you know, the traditional starting on Monday, from top to bottom, however you want to do it, but this is just how I chose. So I could work on one page for part of the week and then another page for another part of the week. So I'm just adding one of the smaller textures into there as well. And then now I'm going to go ahead and take that Illustrated Faith pen again, and I'm just going to go around all of these alpha stickers, really messily creating kind of a messy outline around them. And that just helps them pop a little more. I felt like they just weren't sticking out quite enough for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this little scrap piece of paper, and I've cut it to fit into that box down there, and I'm going to round the corners. This is the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. Now since October ends and only uses 2 of these boxes on this page, the bottom 2 boxes are blank, so I'm just, you know, creating some things that I can fill into those boxes. So again, I'm going to take that Hickory Smoke Distress ink and ink up the edges of this little paper piece. Basically what I'm doing is just kind of creating my own elements or ephemera that will match this spread. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that down there with some more dry adhesive. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the stamp set from the Documented Faith Serve Kit, and it has this really cute little heart doodle. And I have gotten so much use out of this stamp set. That kit is worth it for the stamp set alone. It's not a huge stamp set, but I've really used all the little pieces that are in it. And then now I'm taking some black and white polka dot washi tape. I believe this is from the Target Dollar Spot. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down in the margin. And I'll go ahead and trim off the excess off the edges. And then I'm taking the We Are Memory Keepers. I think this is the Crocodile. And it has a little hole punch that you can then go back in and punch out the holes out of that tape. That way it'll go right back into the binder. And I think that is pretty much it for this layout. I'm just going to hit it with some heat again to kind of secure that washi tape, since it is a cheaper washi tape. And it'll go right back into my binder, and then that's it. Be sure to check out the description box down below. I do add links to all of the products used in the video today. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be caught up on any future videos that I may have. And be sure to revisit old videos to see some old techniques. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.